our Free and Equal segment tonight, on the campaign trail, President Trump said, and I quote here, "We're going to win so much, you're going to get tired of winning." Well, we're 100 days into his presidency, and that has definitely been true for pro-lifers, according to our next guest. With me now, National Director of Priests for Life, Father Frank Pavone. Father, thanks for being here.
Hi, Liz. Good to be with you again.
It's always great to see you, Father. All right, you say that these first 100 days of President Trump have been the most pro-life 100 days in modern history of the first 100 days of presidencies. Why do you say that?
This president knows, I've been part of the advisory council both for pro-life issues and also for Catholic issues. This is a president, first of all, who knows how to listen and learn and take input from experts in these various fields. We in the pro-life movement have felt very welcomed, and we've seen the fruits. He's used his powers in every conceivable arena. In the judicial branch, of course, he's given us a new Supreme Court justice, who I'm absolutely convinced is going to rule the right way when it comes to pro-life. He has advocated, advanced, and signed legislative measures, such as the one giving the states the freedom again to defund Planned Parenthood if they so choose. He's advanced the cause on the international arena, stopping our tax dollars from funding entities that promote and perform abortions overseas. And he has continued to back domestic efforts that are in progress in Congress that are going to lead to domestically the defunding of Planned Parenthood on the federal level. We are very pleased. Taking into account the realistic limitations of the political arena, we're very pleased with what our president has done so far.
Right, and I don't disagree with the thing that you have said so far. I mean, the Mexico City policy, the Title X funding, of course, Justice Neil Gorsuch, she seems incredible. We'll have to see. But let me ask you, I mean, this funding bill that was just passed in Congress today, it does not include funding for a border wall, but it does include funding for Planned Parenthood. I mean, $500 million of our tax money goes to Planned Parenthood every year. 323,000 babies are aborted by that abortion business, as you're well aware of. I mean, that doesn't seem pro-life to me.
Yes, no, of course it's not, but this was not Congress's only effort. In fact, this was not even their best opportunity to do the defunding of Planned Parenthood. The commitment of our pro-life members of Congress and of the leadership to defunding Planned Parenthood has not changed or wavered. This current bill was not done through what is called the reconciliation process, and therefore it faces a filibuster in the Senate, which would require 60 votes to overcome, which the pro-lifers in the Senate do not have. However, further measures can be taken through the reconciliation process, which only requires a simple majority, and I'm convinced those measures will be taken. The negotiations taking place right now on the health care bill still include the defunding of Planned Parenthood, and there can be separate standalone measures, as you know, that can simply focus on the defunding without being tied to bigger and more complex issues such as the funding of the whole government or the reform of health care overall. In other words, we need to be patient, work the legislative process. I have no doubt whatsoever that the commitment of our elected pro-life lawmakers has not changed, and we will see the defunding of Planned Parenthood one way or the other.
Well, I'm glad to hear you say that. I guess I get a little cynical, a little concerned, because it seems to me that Republicans in Congress, both the House and the Senate, they seem to be caving a little bit to Democrats on some of these things. The funding bill included, the repeal of Obamacare included. It makes me worried that their priorities are compromised. Their priorities are keeping their own seats rather than defunding Planned Parenthood. But Father, let me ask you, I mean, do you expect this to happen this year?
Yes, I do. Now, if it doesn't, it's only going to be because, I mean, the Democrats, they're not in the majority, but they still have power. And so and again, that power is especially reflected in the ability to filibuster in the Senate. What we need to do, this leads to a very simple conclusion. We need to build on the pro-life victories that we had in the 2016 election, and we need to really give it to them in the midterms. I mean, expand the pro-life majorities so we get more than 60 votes in the Senate, for instance, and continue to expand the majorities in the House. We need pro-life men and women. As I always say, and you heard me say during the campaign, we need to elect public servants who know the difference between serving the public and killing the public. Someone who is in favor of killing babies by abortion, they simply should not be in public office, and we need to vote them out.
Right, and that's completely the antithesis of what DNC chair Tom Perez said. He said, if you're pro-life, you're not welcome in the Democratic Party, and you can't run for office under our party name. You know, I was thinking about the pro-life accomplishments of President Trump, actually, when I was preparing for this segment, and I think perhaps his greatest victory so far, and I appreciate Justice Neil Gorsuch, I appreciate the Mexico City policy, I appreciate the Title X funding deal, but perhaps his biggest accomplishment, I think, is just defeating Hillary Clinton.
Well, that is exactly what I said to the prayer gathering here in D.C. on the day of the March for Life. That's exactly what I said. Some people say, oh, let's see what he's going to do for the pro-life movement. He did the greatest thing by keeping Hillary out of the White House.
Right, he did. I mean, it's chilling. I still have that image in my mind from that third and final debate of her not even defending or not even refusing to condemn late-term, last-minute abortion or partial birth abortion. Absolutely terrible.